Hi guys, I'm Julian. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another book review. And in today's video, we're gonna take a look at a book which contains some resemblance to the metamorphosis. However, this book is more realistic and ending with a high note. And this book is none other than George Eliot, 1861, Silas Marner. So, Silas Marner is George Eliot's third novel, though this book have a very quite simple plot. The sophisticated and the realistic treatment of the book with various matter at the time, varying from religion to the Industrial Revolution, is quite notable. Well, at least that's what Wikipedia says anyway. But before that, let's take a look at George's life. So, George Eliot was actually a female writer, and she was born on the 22nd of November 1819 and passed away on the 22nd of December 1880. She was also poet, a translator, and also a journalist, as she is one of the leading authors of the Victorian era. She was born Mary Ann Evans in Warwickshire, England, and she is the daughter of John Evans and Christina Evans. She had a lot of siblings. However, she had twin brothers who passed away. When she was still young, she was a voracious reader, and she is obviously intelligent. When she reached her 5 years old, her father sent her to boarding school after boarding school. And when she turned 16, she had really little formal education thanks to her father's business in the estate market, and she had access to the Oldbury Library. And when she turned 16 and a half that year, she came back home and acted as a housekeeper. However, she and her father moved to Coventry when her brother Isaac took over the household with his wife, who moved in there. They moved to Coventry, and there Mary and Evans meet a lot of friends and go to a lot of parties with many people with radical views. And then in 1859, she would complete and publish her first novels, and within a year of that book, she will complete Milk on the Frost, a book which I will talk about later in a book review series, and also continue her career to write many successful stories for the next 15 years. And one of those stories happens to be Silas Marner. So now let's take a look at Silas Marner, the plot. At this point, if you don't want to be spoiled the plot, please skip to this moment of the video when we summarize it for you. So Silas Marner opened up with a small introduction to us about how people treated weavers at early 19th century English countryside. The linen weaver would go around the countryside and looking for villagers to stay there and start working, and one of them was Silas Marner. Silas Marner is actually not being treated that. However, the book starts to dive down to why Silas Marner started traveling around in the countryside. Silas Marner was part of a church group in Lambton Yard, and when he was falsely and horribly betrayed and accused of robbing funds, he decided to leave his church. And the people who betrayed him was actually his dearest friend, his fiancée, and the minister there, and which is a very sad story. So after that, he decided to venture out into the rural areas, trying to forget his sad memories. However, on one attempt, he did try to make friends with a neighbor nearby. However, the attempt backfires. Silas Marner decided to continue into his solitary and numbing work. We shifted to another story. So we are shifted to the household of Squire Cass. Squire Cass is a rich gentleman farmer who have two farm sons. They don't even do any work in the fields. However, people see them as two sides of the coins. Dunstan Cass, the middle brother, is a very cruel and mean person, and he is also a very evil person and a bad character. While his brother is very kind, but he's kind of selfish, and so being the weak person he is, he was tricked by his brother Dunstan into marrying a woman who is opium addicted and had a little girl. Despite his secret marriage, this guy, Godfrey Cass, still had urges to love another woman called Nancy Lamenter, and he hopes to marry her. So, with the cool nature he is, Dunstan frequently blackmailed his brother Godfrey in order to take money and spend it. So one occasion, Godfrey decided to give Dunstan £100. However, this money was supposed to be paying to his father because this money was coming from a tenant. However, this guy decided to settle down to try to get the money to pay back to their father by selling Godfrey's prize horse, which is Wildfire. And so Dunstan decided to ride the horse to the hunt. But before finalizing the deal, he decided to join into some competition, racing horses, and kill Wildfire. However, when people examined the scene, Dunstan was nowhere to be found because Dunstan had decided to creep in the neighborhood nearby and looking for Silas' house, knowing that Silas had money. After Dunstan allegedly stole all of Silas' money, disappearance for days, Godfrey Cass ultimately decided to hook up his courage to tell his dad that, "Father, I am the one who taken the money." And at first, Squire Cass is so angry about that. However, he forgives his sons. Fast forward to a couple hours later, after being robbed of his money, Silas came back home. He felt something wrong and started searching everywhere for the thing that he feels not right. Then he found out his money has gone. He was over distraught. He cried in pain, and he ran to the nearest tavern to tell everybody that my money has gone. People like his neighbors start to comfort him, talk to him, and one of them who stand out was this woman named Dolly Winthrop, her son. Dolly used to talk to us every day, like encourage him to go to church or eat more healthily and ask him to go out and enjoy the sunlight rather than working himself to death. So a couple months later, we came to this Christmas Eve. Molly, who was allegedly Godfrey's secret wife, decided to go to the party to a Squire Cass' house to announce to everybody that I'm the wife of Godfrey Cass, to make Godfrey feel ashamed. While Godfrey was enjoying himself at the party with Nancy, Namator, everybody like that, and on the way there with her baby daughter, Molly dropped to the ground dead. And her little daughter, who was about 3 years old at the time, decided to creep to Silas' house, and realizing there was a warm fire and a comfortable floor, the little girl lay down and sleep on the floor. Having in a bit of fit, Silas don't realize that there was a little girl in his cottage, but when he realized that, he decided to follow her footprints to find her mother. Also, he thought she was anyways. And upon realizing that she was unconscious and probably dead, he decided to rush to Squire Cass' house to announce to everybody that there is a dead woman outside to check who she was. Head out first in a rush was Godfrey Cass, ironically of course, and to his joy and happiness, it was his wife. And her death also brings very conveniently for the upcoming marriage of him with Nancy Lamenter. So, with a child in his home, Silas decided to keep the little girl and name her Abby after his mother and his sister. With the help of Dolly Winthrop, financial size thanks to Godfrey Cass, he decided to raise Abby. And as time passes, Abby and Silas become more attached, and Abby loved Silas undoubtedly. And thanks to Abby, everybody in the village started to realize how good of the man Silas is and how kind he is to Abby. He was started saying this guy used to be a very mysterious person, working himself to death. Now he is over here raising a little girl and taking care of her so well. And then the ultimate truth start to pulling off. So one day at home very peacefully with Abby, someone announced to Silas that his gold was found on the clutches of a skeleton. So the skeleton was found behind Silas' house in a quarry because people started bringing water to water the fields, and they found a dead body there. And the body belongs to none other than Squire Cass' middle son, Dunstan Cass, and he was still clutching to Silas' bag of money. And this ultimately led Godfrey to tell Nancy about his secret marriage to a woman named Molly, and Abby, Silas' adopted daughter, was actually his. Now see, however, surprisingly, decide not to be angry at her husband, but to accept gift and regret why they have not asked Eppie to stay with them. So they decided to go and rush to Silas' house to ask Eppie to be their daughter and to be a gentleman's daughter, to learn and to go abroad and study. However, Eppie refused. Sure, if she do that, then Silas will be unhappy without her, and this both discouraged Nancy and Godfrey to not ask her again. At the end of the book, we learn that Eppie is going to marry to a local boy named Aaron, and he is also the son of Dolly Winthrop. They went splendidly, and Eppie moved together with Dolly and Aaron, moved into Silas' house, and they lived quite happy after enjoying a splendid meal after wedding. The end. So now, what's your opinion on the book? Before talking about the character, I have a very couple opinion on the book. The book tormented its own protagonist, Silas, but rewarded him with what truly fulfilled. Now, let's talk about character analyst. Silas Marner is the main protagonist of the book. He is a good-natured person, yet very hardworking and also kind-hearted. When he's betrayed, he never think of vengeance, but rather decide to move on and live his life continuously. He's Dolly Winthrop, also a kind of character playing here and there, but she essentially made Silas feel better, and she is the one to mend his heart and to comfort him when he's sad or when he needs a couple of advice about raising a little girl. Her son Aaron is also a tiny company and a little help, and he also brings joy and fun while raising Eppie. And now let's talk about the cast and the people surrounding the cast. So the Squire cast is a widower. He lost his wife, and he has 2 sons. He is also a very rich gentleman farmer who made his living and earning. However, his 2 sons are the opposite of working hard, because although one is good-natured and the other is evil and cruel, both of them have the same weaknesses and some resemblance in character. Both of them are selfish and lazy. While Godfrey is a little bit better, he is also weak character and not willing to pay for what he truly desires. Dunstan, on the other hand, is full-fledged on greedy and cruel. Lamberta is a kind of decent character, although the book informs us that she is a very religious person, well educated and very calculating, but she always chooses to forgive. What about the people belong to Silas' past? The people belong to Silas' past, including the most essential people who play a role that made him change and leave for the rural areas: William Danes, his fiancée, the priest, and a couple people that you don't need to care about. William Dane is Silas' best friend for ages and ages. However, William backstab, and he is absolutely a snake. He gets jealous because Silas is hardworking, is richer than he is, and he has a beautiful fiancée. He's take everything away from Silas. And William Dane is also kind of like self-absorbed and selfish. He accuses his friend of murder, while using the gift that he was given by his first friend to use against him. Silas' fiancée is also a kind woman who easily led manipulated by the whole situation and also kind of selfish. The priest is absolutely ignorant. Though he follow and he learned stuff, he still kind of portray what really is, because he don't care about any law enforcement, he don't care about investigating the whole truth, but draw lots to determine who is right and who is wrong. So now, let's talk about the theme of the book and my recommendation. The theme of the book is spotted on about community and versus individuality. The whole book often portrays Silas to be this outsider from the community judging Silas. And they believe that living like Silas is like the demon, like he is not, because he doesn't believe in God, which made him a demon, which is absolutely ignorance. And the community here mostly portray how society still works. So let's talk about my recommendation for a second. I really love Silas Marner, although at first I kind of despise it and it kind of give me impatient to listen to the pages. But thankfully, I listened to the abridged version of the book, not the unabridged. Will be a link of that in the description below. But my recommendation would be probably Mill on the Frost. Mill on the Frost is actually what I've told you that George Eliot wrote after finishing her first novel. And Mill on the Frost is probably one of my favorite books. The book also tormented and tortured its character, but yet in such a brilliant way that you love it. The book, and she is also the main circle of the book. The book has some taste of Silas Marner torments, but ended with a sad theme. If you get a little spoiled and get salty with me, don't call me out. And if you want to read Silas Marner, then I will be link a PDF version of it in the description below. Check that. And next video is coming soon. I'll see you guys later. If you can give me a favor, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'll see you guys later. Bye.